What's up, guys? Luna Wolf from XS here. Day 15. It's almost dinner time. I'm about to go get dinner in 20 minutes about. I have this, so being trapped in a room, it's weird. Like, you're constantly looking at the clock. You're like, what time's breakfast? Looking at the clock. You know, and then breakfast can be an hour away. And every 5 minutes, you know, you'll kind of be watching a video or reading or something, and you'll be like, oh, I've lost track of time. You'll look at the clock. It's only been 5 minutes. So I'm constantly looking at the clock because I'm like, I don't want to miss dinner or whatever. But anyways, today we got our COVID test, and it won't, I guess the results won't be in until like 2 or 3 days later. So I won't know if I have COVID or not. It was kind of, the way they set it up was kind of unnecessary. Like, they did it, they put us on a bus that, if you've ever seen a prison bus, it legit, and I've seen prison buses because there used to be, when they would transfer prisoners in between states at the Birmingham airport, which there hasn't been one in a long time. I don't know why that is or whatever. But when the prison plane would come in, you would see the prison bus drive up, pick up the prisoners, and take them wherever. You knew it was the prison plane because all the windows are painted on it. It has no markings. You know, I guess it's a federal plane. Like it's like a passenger plane, but all the windows are painted. I don't know why I'm going off on prisoner planes and buses, but they legit picked us up in a prisoner bus, took us to the hospital, and there was way too many people. It's not like security forces, like police. It's just airmen, like these real low-ranking, brand new to the Air Force people that they're like, go stand out there and point in the direction people need to go. They don't guide you or anything. They just kind of point. They're like, go that way, sir. You know. But getting the COVID test, I thought it was going to be fine. Like, I use Q-tips in my ears probably way too often, apparently now it's a thing that you can use Q-tips too much. But usually because I can't stand having water in my ears, so when I get out of the shower, I won't dig deep, but I'll use a Q-tip to get the water out of my ears because it bothers me. But I use Q-tips in my nose sometimes too. I have this weird phobia of having like something hanging out on my nose. So I'll use Q-tips in my nose to, I don't know, just make myself feel better. But so I thought, I was like, you know, I'm gonna have no problem with this Q-tip going down my nose cavity or whatever. Well, I had a huge problem. Out of everybody, there was only 8 of us in my group. There was multiple groups, but they split us up. There was only eight of us in my group, and out of my group, I yelled. Like, when he stuck that Q-tip in, I was like, oh, this isn't that bad. And he said, you tilted, because he was like, tilt your head back. So I like threw my head way back, you know, like far back. And he stuck the Q-tip in, and he said, no, your head's too far back. So he pulled it out, and so I was like, show me where you want my head. And he was like that, like you have it now. So I had it kind of back, but not really. And then he put it in, and you know, I'm like, okay, that wasn't that bad. And he put it in and went down here and just kept going. Like, I feel like it came out my ear or something. But I yelled. I was like, ah! Like, because it went, they started, like, the hospital staff started laughing. Because, my goodness, that was not, I don't want to ever do that again. I'm never taking a COVID test ever again. I have zero problem with giving blood. I have zero problems with getting shots. I always get that thing where I get like freaked out right before I give blood because they ask you. They're like, do you have a problem with passing out or anything when you give blood? And I'm like, I have to switch arms. This arm's going numb from holding this up. And I'm like, you know, I'm like, no, I haven't in the past, but now that you asked me, I'm kind of freaked out. But, yeah, so that's what's crazy. Like, I feel like blood would freak me out worse than having a Q-tip caught like it's like a stick. It's like a yardstick. Man, shove it down your nose. It was horrible. That was horrible. I would, if somebody was like, "Would you do it again for $50?" I would probably say no. They're like $100. You're getting closer to my how much it would cost to have me do that again. That was horrendous. Them shoving that cotton thing down my nose. But anyways, I had another story. So yesterday, because I uploaded the video about breakfast, I didn't get to tell you about my run-in with these kids. So our walking track, we get our 1 hour yard time. Our walking track is, the walking track is in the back of the hotel, and we walk on this street. And I don't know how long the street is. It might be like 300 yards, and we walk it back and forth. So there's this farm next to our walking track that I showed y'all a couple days ago. And there's always, usually around lunch or before, my bad, after lunch, because we go after lunch, there's people come and pick the vegetables they've grown. It's like a local, I don't know who come up with the idea, but it's really cool. It's like a local farm thing. I'm sorry, I'm looking at people are walking out. It's like a local farm thing for the Air Force people. So it's really cool. The families come, show their kids how to grow stuff, and it's awesome. I wish more bases would do. This is the first base that I've seen that has I don't know what you call it, like a commune, a farm commune. But so I have my headphones in. I'm walking my circle, and I'm coming back by, and this little girl kind of runs up to me, probably like 6 foot away from me, and I just kind of like wave, like, "Hey, little girl," and I keep walking because I'm listening to a podcast or whatever. I usually listen to Joe Rogan's podcast, but this little girl waves, and I was like, "Hey, whatever," little redheaded girl. And it was funny because the mom was redheaded, and 2 of the kids weren't redheaded, but there was 3 kids total. They were all, I don't know if, because there was 2 women, so I think 2 of the kids were the redhead's mom's kid or whatever. I don't know, whatever. So anyways, this girl was probably like 5, 6 years old. She was tiny. And, so I wave at her, keep walking. I make a full lap, so 300 yards down, 300 yards back. And I'm turning back around, and all the kids come over. And the 2 women, the moms, I guess, of the kids, are walking towards me too, because they're going back to their vehicle. They got all their vegetables. And the little redheaded girl stops me, like gets out in front of me on the street where I'm walking, and stops me. And so I'm like, "What is she doing?" So I take my headset off, and she goes, "Hey." And I said, "Yeah." And so I'm waving, all the kids are waving at me, so I'm waving out, "Hey, kids," And she goes, "Hey, you didn't talk to me last time you came by me." And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I had my headphones in." And she was like, "I don't like that. I talk to you." This little, like, 5, 6-year-old girl is like, "If I talk to you, I want you to talk to me back." And I was like, that's hilarious. Like, her mom busted. I'm assuming it was her mom because the lady was redheaded. And she just busted out laughing at this little girl telling me off because I didn't talk to her. Apparently, the little girl, the first time I walked by her, she was trying to talk to me. She was waving and talking to me, but I had my headphones in. I couldn't hear her. So the second time when she stopped me, I took them off, and I'm like, she's like, "Next time you come by me, talk to me." And I was like, my goodness, I'm getting attacked by this little 6-year-old redheaded girl. But that was pretty funny. There was something else that happened yesterday, but I can't remember. Whatever. But anyways, if you get the COVID test, it's horrendous. It is the worst possible pain you will ever feel in your life. I'm just kidding. I like when everybody kept saying, because the first crew came in, we got picked up right here. The first crew came in, and they were like, "It's not that bad, man. It's whatever." So I went into it thinking, okay, this ain't going to be that bad. And then he shoves that thing into my brain, and I freak out like... I was like, this was horrible. So maybe if I tell y'all it's horrible, it won't be as bad as you think. But anyways, I'll get the results back in 2 days or whatever. But Appreciate y'all watching. Check me out SoundCloud, Instagram, Twitter. Like always, check me out on the streets.